Hello and welcome to this video playing Iggyrock. Let's do something else. Don't play the King's Indian that often. Yeah, c5 was an interesting option to potentially transpose into a Maroczy bind if he castles, and he does castle. And he did so quite quickly, so maybe he actually has a concrete plan here. You never know, he might just play every move quickly, no matter if he knows it or not. Yeah, here bishop e3 is the most common. You can put the bishop, you can put the knight back already here, knight c2, but that is not considered that critical after knight d7. When white has to deal with this idea of bishop takes e3. Yeah, now he's taking some time, so most likely it's not an opening that he has studied extensively. Still quite surprising. I mean, bishop e3 is a very natural looking move, even if you have never seen it. No. Oh, you had to find the book first to look it up. Yeah, here the main choice is between knight c2 and queen d2. Queen d2 being the overwhelming main line. Knight c2, however, is also quite good, and a move that I consider to be a bit more critical. It's what I play myself. Of course, white also has other options like rook c1 or f3. Korchnoi played knight b3 in this position. It's also a decent idea. Rook c1. Sorry. Rook c1, of course, is possible. I'm preparing the regrouping a5, knight d7. I wonder if b4 is a move here, but I think against that I can play bishop h6. Bishop f3 is uncommon. Yeah, I think a5 looks normal for knight d7, yeah. Immediately knight d7 he can take, play b4, that I don't like. Now e5, I can take f3, queen takes knight d7. I think is something similar I had on the board in an earlier game. An earlier rapid game here on. He plays almost the same stuff. a4 is the same strategically dubious move that this other person played. Interesting. Yeah, it puts lots of pawns on light squares, and their 3 bishop is potentially bad. Here you can actually retreat to e3. In that other game, that option wasn't even available for white. Of course, you can also allow me to take on d4 and play, let's say, rook e1 or something. Okay, so he goes back. Knight c5 is the most obvious move. And let's do it. That's the square for the knight anyway. So he has to worry at least a little bit about potential capture on c3 and then grab pawns. That is actually an idea. e4 is attacked. There's also some pressure on a4. Yeah, how does he cover that? Looks difficult to cover it with something natural looking. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to spend ages now to think about what he's going to play at. That's really not comfortable. Maybe you can play b3 and just gamble that I'm not going to take. I can take, rook takes, knight e4, I don't know. It's a big center pawn. It's not some, yeah. This is kind of the move that you play if you are really, really concerned about material. Strategically speaking, this is a suicidal decision, giving me a fantastic bishop. I mean, okay, the bishop is one thing. The other problem is that his bishop on c3 is a complete disaster. On f3, I'm sorry. So here, yeah, what to do? e6. But knight d5 is not really on the agenda. Still, I'm going to do it. I want to move the queen and then rook d8. Get onto the d file, queen g5, rook d8, so that rook d2 becomes possible. This kind of thing. Yeah, but that knight is not doing much at all. Even taking on b5 and putting this on d4 is great. Yeah, we'll see. Rook d8. Yeah, okay, rook d1. Not easy to break down, yeah. Definitely not easy to break down. Yeah, rook d8. Yeah, maybe still play it and and then see what to do. Now bishop d4 doesn't look great. I mean, that capture, that line with the capture, and then put something on d4. I don't know, it could be too little. Yeah, but it has one really clear advantage. It's extremely one-sided. Yeah, I wonder if I should have played rook d8 in the first place, if I'm going for that. I don't want to trade a rook, actually. But okay, rook d8 is rubbish, yeah. Rook d8, I'm coming to d2, so he won't take on d8. Yeah, he has to take with the c-pawn. I think it's better than taking with the a-pawn. So that c4 at least is a square. So I'm playing on this bishop being better than this bishop. Yeah, I just recognize one thing, but it's probably not so important. If he goes rook e1, he might play e5. If I go e5 myself, he might have a regrouping of the bishop to c4. But that is a really long maneuver. Yeah. If he gets there, I'll in the meantime I have e5 and f5 on. Against b6, I probably play rook d6 and pick up that pawn. Rook d6. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, he's taking a while. Okay, so no tactic. Don't think so. So I'm going to do this. I don't think that this is actually doing anything good for him. The d file, nothing happens. And I will open the position up with f5. Trying to bust through on the f file. Yeah, okay. So what is next? Rook d6. I don't want to trade queens. I mean, let's say h6 he takes. This is still pretty good. But trading queens was not really what I wanted. I don't have a really great square. It's a bit weird. Queen h4, g3. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried much about g3, but it feels like a retreat. Retreat feels a bit passive. Okay, I didn't want to do this originally, but it is okay. I mean, I get f5 in next, and this looks pretty bad. Maybe he just plays like a g4, yeah, like a full scale passive defense. That move I play anyway. I don't really need to think twice there. And he actually has to take, otherwise I take e4 and everything collapses already. If he takes it and I play e4 immediately, by the way, what is white's move? I don't need to, however. I can just recapture and e4 next. Oh, that already is really, really awful, yeah? What is he, how is he defending here? Bishop e2, e4, if the rook... Okay, the rook can maybe go to g3. Yeah, rook can go to g3. e4, rook g3. Amazing. So, okay, let's bring the king to f6. Or let's say, allow this option. It's one advantage of black's position. I can easily use the king, like e4, king f6, king e5, and so on. Yeah, it's not easy here for white. Give him some advice is tough. Rook h3 or something. To try to invade. That also doesn't really do much. Yeah, I was thinking rook h8 is simplest, but if I go g4, I don't know. Rook h4 is still playable. Yeah, I wonder if I should go g4 and then rook h8, or if this is too lame. It is really a bit lame. Bishop h5 is just helpful for me. Yeah, okay, so what did I wanted to get a slightly more favorable version of g4, and here I think I'm getting it. Rook h4 is leaving the rook with very little squares. If I go e4, then bishop h6 is going to be a threat. Okay, so Rook h8, it's probably h3. Doesn't do much. And e4. Wait, e4 maybe. Yeah, let's go e4. Rook, if he goes rook g3, that rook is really short of squares. So he goes back. And now, if I go rook h8, I'm attacking the pawn, and king g1, there's e3, and white is falling apart. And what is he playing? If not king g1, h3 drops the pawn. Yeah, that looks very good. King g1, e3 will win stuff. Don't see a good alternative for white. Okay, so I think I'll take. And I have a direct attacking plan here, rook h8 and invade. Or just rook on the second rank. My king can also join, even though f4 and f3 is also looking quite strong. So yeah, f3 looks quite strong. If the pawn lands on f3, then we're talking about checkmates. Yeah, there's no defense. There's no defense to that. King g2, I go rook h8. Yeah, and he resigns. It's probably, maybe he can avoid mate, but it really looks pretty bad. Okay, so let's have a look. Sometimes it does it automatically, sometimes it I don't know. Okay, so we get to the Maroczy bind here by transposition, and rook c1. Yeah, this is a normal move, of course. Take bishop c6 is looking sensible. Bishop f3. The engine loved queen d3 for a moment. Oh, my average center pawn loss looks high. Did I really make a big mistake in this game? That would be surprising. It didn't feel like there was so much going on tactically. Okay, now it goes down. Yeah, queen d3, the engine initially liked a lot, but this is a normal game. Okay, bishop f3. I'm not a huge fan of this because it's just a fairly passive piece there. And a4, yeah, that puts more pawns on light squares. I think this is a strategic mistake that potentially, yeah, makes this bishop extremely bad. Yeah, decided to keep this on. Yeah, now bishop c5 is the kind of move I rather give up a pawn than playing that. But okay, he took it. Yeah, now there are a couple of options. Also just taking and e6 as the engine suggests, but I didn't want to trade queens all that quickly. I felt like I have some chances on the dark squares. And now I'm down to something like 20, which is a fairly normal value for my rapid games, it seems. So takes, bishop d4. Yeah, you give up the bishop pair, but you get a position which is extremely one-sided. Only black can do something. Here, yeah, and now I can keep the queens on, but I mean, ultimately, this h6 move was very, it paid off a lot in the game, but in general, I wasn't sure about it. Yeah, maybe this isn't really good, yeah. f5 will come. This is a definite mistake, yeah. Oh, here e4 was possible. Huh. Yeah, I briefly considered this, but didn't fully understand. I mean, okay, this is just good as well, but e4 looked a bit more powerful, I see. So, yeah, king g7 is normal here. And now g4 was better than king g6. Is that really bad? Bishop h5 and bishop e2? Nah. The king g6 also keeps an advantage. Okay, it seems that g4 is better. Yeah, I kind of agree, because I mean later I saw that g4 is a huge idea. Yeah, and he cannot go here because after e4 and this is trapped. Rook is just trapped. Okay, he went to this. e4. Yeah, you should go back to g3, which is not a lot of fun, but yeah, we can look at the line. This, and g3. That's nice, yeah. So the rook is again trapped in the middle of the board. Yeah, so well, in the game we had this situation, and here g3 is maybe a bit tougher, but it's really not a position you can play. And you have f3, rook h8 and mate, and yeah, it's probably not defensible. I mean, even the mate is probably hard to defend against. The engine gives like -7. Probably that is climbing if you give it more time. Okay guys, thanks for watching.